Let me ask you something. Same guy, same face, same personality, same humor, same laugh. But one version of him is broke, and the other version has money. Do women treat them the same? You already know the answer. And if you're being honest with yourself, it bothers you a little, because it raises a question most men spend years trying not to ask out loud. Is it me they want? Or is it what I represent? Here's what I'm going to tell you by the end of this video. The answer is more complicated and more interesting than you think, because this was never really about money. It was always about signals, and signals are something every single person on this planet responds to, whether they know it or not. Stay with me, because what happens at level 5 is something almost nobody talks about, and once you see it, you can't unsee it. You're at the beginning. Low income, no clear direction yet. Maybe a job that pays the bills, maybe not even that. You're surviving, not building. And here's what most men notice at this stage without being able to explain it. You feel invisible. Not to everyone, not always, but in rooms where attraction is happening, where women are making quiet, unconscious decisions about who deserves their attention, you're barely registering. You ask for the number, you plan the date, you start every conversation. The effort is almost entirely one-directional, and if you slow down or stop, things dissolve almost immediately. Most men at this stage assume the problem is their looks, or their confidence, or something deeply personal and fixed about who they are, and so they go down a rabbit hole of self-improvement, style changes, and social skills training, which aren't bad things, but they're solving for the wrong variable. Here's the hidden reality nobody tells you. Women aren't ignoring you. They're reading a signal, and the signal you're sending right now is one of stillness, of uncertainty, of a life that hasn't found its momentum yet. That signal triggers a very basic human instinct, caution. And caution looks a lot like disinterest from the outside. The wealth is not the point. The wealth changes the signal. The signal changes perception. And perception changes behavior. Remember that, because it's going to explain everything that comes next. Something small changes. You get consistent, a steady income, your own place, a direction that you can actually point to and say, this is where I'm going. You haven't made it. You're not even close, but you've crossed one invisible threshold. You've gone from uncertain to functional. And almost immediately, something shifts in how women interact with you. Responses come back faster. Conversations feel less like work. You're no longer completely invisible. You're now being considered. Not always, not deeply, but the door that was closed before is at least slightly open now. Here's the surprising part. Nothing about your personality changed. Your sense of humor is identical. Your values are the same. Your face is the same face. But the signal changed, and the signal changed everything. The mistake most men make at level 2 is thinking they figured it out. They get stable, they notice more attention, and they assume stability was the missing ingredient all along. So they stop growing, they settle into comfort, and then they wonder why the attention plateaus. Because here's what's still true at level 2. Women are responding to you more, but they're not pursuing you. They're not investing heavily. You're on the list, but you're not anyone's priority yet. Something else quietly changes here, and most men miss it completely. This is where things start getting genuinely interesting. You're not just stable anymore. You're visibly moving forward. A business that's starting to gain traction. A career with a clear upward arc. An income that's growing in ways people around you can actually see. And the behavioral shift at this level is hard to ignore. Women begin initiating, not dramatically at first, but you notice it. The text comes back within minutes. Plans stop falling apart. Flaking becomes rare. Eye contact holds a little longer than it used to. Invitations stop always coming from your side. The effort in how women show up around you starts to increase. And here's where most men make a critical mistake. They think the reason is that they've become more attractive. And sure, confidence that often comes with building something real does matter. But the deeper driver is not confidence, it's trajectory. An ascending man is one of the most compelling signals a human being can broadcast. It doesn't just say, I have value right now. It says, I'm heading somewhere better. And that signal activates something in people, not just women, everyone, that makes them want to be near you before the destination arrives. But there's a hidden trap at level 3 that almost nobody warns you about. A portion of the interest that appears at this level is attracted to your direction, not to you. And at this stage, you have almost no way to tell the difference. You can't feel the difference between someone who would have loved you broke and someone who appeared the moment your trajectory became visible. The interest looks the same. The attention feels the same. Most men think level 3 is the finish line. It isn't, not even close. Real financial momentum now. Genuine freedom beginning to take shape. The kind of income that doesn't just cover your life, it gives you choices. You travel. Your environment reflects your success. Your lifestyle is something people notice without you having to say a word about it. And here's where the behavioral patterns around you become something you need to pay close attention to. Women who previously required months of patience and pursuit start becoming available in ways they weren't before. Social circles expand almost on their own. People from your past, people who barely acknowledged you at level 1 start finding reasons to reach back out. Here's the surprising observation nobody prepares you for. It's not just new women, it's everyone in your orbit. The signals ripple outward, and old relationships recalibrate. Acquaintances become warmer. Strangers become curious. The social temperature around your life quietly rises. But something else happens at level 4 that changes the game entirely. You start attracting a different category of woman. Not just more interest, different interest. Women who have their own stability, their own resources, their own standards, and a clear, well-developed sense of what they will and won't accept. And these women don't chase carelessly. They evaluate. They're not responding to your signal with excitement. They're responding to it with curiosity and careful observation. They want to know if the signal is real, if the man behind it matches what the circumstances are advertising. The mistake most men make at level 4 is thinking they finally arrived, that the hard part is over, that more options means more clarity. But here's the hidden reality. More options creates more noise, and the louder the noise gets, the harder it becomes to hear what's actually real. And that's when the real game begins. Wealth is now visible, not implied, not possible, actual, observable, undeniable success. And what happens at this level almost breaks the mental model most men have been operating from their entire life. The attention becomes constant. The interest appears from directions you never anticipated. Women who never once acknowledged your existence find reasons to be near you. Social invitations multiply. Access to environments, experiences, and people that were once completely out of reach now feels almost effortless. And for a moment, a brief, intoxicating moment, it feels like the arrival. But here's what nobody talks about, and I mean almost nobody. The increase in attention creates a new problem that money cannot solve. Signal noise. At level 5, you can no longer easily read what's real. The affection feels genuine, but is it? The interest appears natural, but is it? The attraction seems authentic, but is it the man she wants or the life the man represents? You have become, in the eyes of the world around you, a signal so strong that people respond to it almost automatically, and you are now inside that signal. You can't step outside it to see it clearly, and that makes reading people accurately, honestly, the most important skill you can possibly develop. Because here's the truth that sits underneath every level of this entire progression. The wealth didn't create attraction. The wealth changed the signal. The signal changed who shows up. And now the critical question, the only question that actually matters, is whether the people showing up are responding to you or to what you've become in their eyes. Across all 5 levels, one thing remained constant. Human beings respond to signals, not always consciously, not with bad intentions, but the signal you broadcast shapes what people are willing to offer you, invest in you, and feel for you. That is not cynical, that is human, and it applies to everyone, in every direction, all the time. The men who rise through these levels and actually end up happy are not the ones who accumulated the most. They're the ones who stayed clear-headed enough to understand the dynamics happening around them, who didn't confuse increased attention for deeper connection, who chose people and let people choose them based on something the money couldn't manufacture. Character, Honesty, real compatibility, mutual respect that existed before the signal got loud. Money will not make someone love you, but it will change who is standing in the room, and it will change what they're willing to offer. So the real question has never been how to make more money. It's always been, do you understand the room you're walking into? The money changed the room, but understanding the room is what determines whether the money actually improves your life.